FM.
Welcome along to another episode. Today, I'm joined by another guest from America. So please welcome along to the podcast, Eugene Brukhman. Welcome along.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. Before we get going, we kind of bumped into each other on the Facebook group that we have together.
Yeah, so that's where we met and it's a lovely group. I'm sorry, what was the can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it was wheelchair users and advice, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
wheelchair tips and advice or something like that. Someone,
Yeah, like wheelchair users and life
yeah.
or I'm in a few of those groups and
All right,
they
yeah.
each have their own like vibe. And I think the group that we met in was a very supportive. Um, Group, everyone was like responding to introduction posts, and that's how you and I came into contact was I made an introduction post and you
Yes.
commented and we started talking. So it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, I don't think I've ever posted on that one yet. Probably should do at some point, but, yeah, so you've got quite a few, disabilities. As I was saying to you before, you're sort of collecting them all, aren't you? Um, so which one should we
I
go
hope
for
not.
first? Um, Hypermobility, which I've had people come on the podcast before with that disability. So at this point, people should know what it means. But you've also got PUTS. At this moment in time, I've forgotten what it stands for. But I'm sure you could
It's
do everything.
yeah, it's postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, so kind of a mouthful. Um, but essentially what it means is that it's postural. So anytime I'm upright, I have tachycardia, which is just a fast heartbeat. Um, and it's more than that. It also affects like I have hyperadrenergic POTS, which is when your body produces too much adrenaline when you're standing upright, and that's what causes the tachycardia, but it also causes high blood pressure and excessive sweatiness. POTS in general can cause like dry eyes, dry mouth. It causes autonomic dysfunction across the whole body. So it can also affect your digestion. A lot of people with POTS have digestive issues. Yeah, that's the rundown.
Yeah, it's a, it's an umbrella term, isn't it? It's like we do all these other things, but below the umbrella. Um, and you're sorry. Should I also mention that you're transmasculine, non-binary? Is that right? It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I just my path on the journey of figuring out my identity has been that first I came out as a trans man and uh, I kept like talking with other trans people and learning more about non-binary people. And I realized I was watching a video actually, I forget which YouTuber, but they were doing a Q&A. And one of the questions was, if you could press a button and be born as a man, like as a boy, would you? And the YouTuber said yes in a heartbeat, like right away, no questions asked, I would do it. And I thought about that question and I realized that if I had been born as a boy instead of as a girl, I would still feel just as alien in my body as I do now. Um, and I realized that I am actually not a boy or a girl, man or woman. I'm just non-binary.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And so since coming to terms with that identity and medically transitioning, I have been a lot more comfortable in my body and who I am. And
Brilliant.
yeah, so
I can see the beard's really coming on as well.
thank you.
Very nice. Um, yeah, so we should probably get going. So you were born. That's the short end of it. But so obviously POTS and carbon mobility, you were born with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So which one first? Or did you get diagnosed with one and then the other, or
I actually was not diagnosed until fairly recently. Um,
for them both?
for them both. Yeah, I started
Okay.
seeking um I for many different reasons I didn't get a lot of healthcare as a kid. But as a child, I was really flexible and I did gymnastics as a lot of people with hypermobility do. Um, and when I tried out for the gymnastics team, they said, "Hey, you're actually super flexible. You should do rhythmic gymnastics." And rhythmic gymnastics is the one with the balls and the hoops, and
Yeah,
you're on the floor and you're, contorting in all these
yeah.
different ways. And
All the circus stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I had the most flexible back on the team. I could touch my head to my butt.
No.
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Um, so that was, the biggest way that it came out. I did have a lot of pain growing up.
Hmm.
Um, I would constantly be like snapping joints in and out of place. Yeah, and it's that was unfortunately it was kind of dismissed. It was like, oh, you're being dramatic.
Oh,
That doesn't happen.
wow.
Um, yeah, so um I had a few minor dislocations that I was able to resolve on my
Yeah.
own,
Put
for
back
lack
up.
of better word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I mean,
Yeah, and so that's basically how it showed up. And then the pots, um, I I I always was under the impression, when people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired after this run, like I
yeah.
could collapse." When people said that, I thought they were being literal because I thought that you were supposed to feel like you're dying when you exercise. Because that's just how I felt always.
Yeah.
'Cause my
Of
heart rate
course.
was going above 200 every time I even went faster than walking. So, um, so that was how the POTS showed up.
So the hypermobility, nobody until fairly recently ever like I mean they pointed out to you that you're quite flexible, but no one ever sort of went, hey, you could, you know, because I don't really see that as a disability, even though it is classed as a disability in a different section. But, yeah,
It
interesting.
really depends on the person. So hypermobility is a spectrum.
Yeah,
For some people, it's really disabling, like they can't stand up without dislocating something. And for other people, it shows up a lot more subtly, where maybe there's chronic pain involved, but not necessarily a lot of injuries. And I think in terms of hypermobility, I'm on the milder spectrum
yeah.
of that. Um, I did bring it up to, I remember my pediatrician, and she told me I had growing pains. Um, so those never went away. And
No. What's
yeah.
that? So, let's go through. Where to start? We should probably. So you talk about healthcare. So obviously healthcare is different in the US than it is to the UK. I think we all pretty much know what the UK's healthcare system's like at this point in time. So as a child, you mentioned that you didn't really have a lot of it. So was that kind of like the what was happening at that point of time, or was it just the fact of the money, financial situation that you were in that you could? Because I know you get healthcare through work or through school or whatever, but you know, private healthcare, family healthcare or family care plan or whatever. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so there were periods of my life when my family was underinsured.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
Basically, sometimes you can have health insurance, but that health insurance does not cover enough of the costs for you to actually access healthcare.
mm,
So for me, it was uh, I was taken to the doctor for physicals because it was required for me to do sports. So I did have yearly physicals. Um, but other than that, it was sort of like, unless you're dying, we are not taking you to the doctor.
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought, yeah, because it's quite, there's quite specific healthcare options. Like you need to have this, and then your work might be able to supply you with some, but it's only for workplace related injuries. And when if it's outside of work, then you've got to do it yourself, and then there's a whole other conversation, isn't it? Um, yeah, so you mentioned that you do sports, gym, you do what climbing, biking, hand cycling, you've done a lot, you've done triathlons, um, sport was in you from a young age then.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always very athletic as a kid, and I think I'm just starting to come back into that as an adult. Um, I My disabilities have made it rather difficult to um participate in the same way in the last, I would say, 7 years. Um, so that has been difficult. But over the last like 3 years, I've been getting back into moving and trying to figure out. And so that's where the hand cycling comes in. And I haven't done a triathlon yet, but I hope that I will soon,
Yeah.
like within the next few years. Yeah.
Yeah, and so tell me what sports you started off doing. I mean, you presumably got into it at school, college, high school, whatever you want to call it these days. Um, and then where that kind of led you. Because I don't think you had a wheelchair until fairly recently, or for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've had a wheelchair for since May of 2024, so about a year and a half.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so that's fairly new. And yeah, and so in high school, I was doing gymnastics on my school team, and I was also doing varsity diving, um, so jumping off diving boards,
yeah,
um, on my high school team. So that was what I did in the fall and the winter, and I did do gymnastics year round at a club as well. Um, and um, what else did I do? Yeah, I mean, when in college is when I really started rock climbing a lot. Um, I joined a rock climbing gym and I would go a few times a week. And I at the time I loved bouldering, and I think part of that was because I didn't have any friends who were rock climbing yet.
oh,
So bouldering is the one you can do on your own. But
Is that the
it's
one
really
where the
fun.
rocks come towards you and you've got to kind of touch them?
Um, there is sort of an overhang, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it tends to be so bouldering is like 15 to 20 feet in the air,
Okay.
um, roughly. I might be a little wrong on the actual measurements, but it's like a shorter height.
Right.
Um, and the routes are usually more technical and difficult to do in terms of like muscle exertion because it's shorter.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really fun. It's like a mind game. I found it like a moving meditation for me.
So do you just have to avoid them, or is it you actually physically pushing them, or what's the aim?
The walls are static. It's just that they kind of overhang.
Oh, and they climb up. Oh, you.
Yeah, like you're
Oh,
climbing
okay, right. Okay.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
those. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It's another version. It's another version of rock climbing.
Oh, yeah, there might be a new, they're coming up with new stuff all the time
Right.
with like
Yes.
changing
Right.
routes and
Yeah, I see
stuff.
what you mean. Yeah, the one going up. Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know it was called bouldering. Over here, I think we just call it rock climbing, or extreme rock climbing. I think we call it here. That yeah. My
Mhm.
apologies for that. But yeah, that sounds interesting. And then the hand cycling seems pretty interesting as well. I mean, just that you got to do that. Oh,
Yeah. So I just like about a month ago started hand cycling, so I'm no expert. But the from my initial impressions of it are that it's very difficult.
yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
more involved than just doing that all the time.
yeah, yeah. I think comparing it to riding a bike when I was more able-bodied, it's um like bike riding, there are hard parts when you get to a tough hill, but it's much easier to do with healthy legs than it is to do with arms. And I don't know if that's because my arms are also a little affected with my disability, but uh yeah, the pushing up a hill in a hand cycle is so difficult and I go at a snail's pace.
Yeah, that I'll do that. Yeah,
It's like yeah, the hands go at the
like in slow
same
motion.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, so tell me a bit about your art because that's a big part, isn't it?
Yeah, my aunt has EDS and that I didn't know that until I started getting told that I was hypermobile. Um
So just to say, this is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
yes, yeah. Um yeah, so she has it to the point where she had really, really severe scoliosis as a kid, so she had to have a full spinal fusion. Um which was a fairly invasive surgery.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but like I didn't know that she had EDS and neither did my mom until my mom started talking to my aunt about the things that I was starting to experience with doctors and physical therapists telling me like, oh, you should get evaluated for EDS and so that kind of EDS is a genetic condition. So that kind of pointed me in the direction of like, oh, this is really something that I should explore. Um, yeah.
Yeah. And then the art came in for your aunt.
Yeah. I am an artist and designer. Um, I went to school for industrial design and also studied fashion design while I was there. Um, but I also love to paint, so I kind of dabble in a lot of things. Um, yeah, but by trade, I'm in industrial design.
And where did that passion start?
Oh, goodness. I,
Going back to your childhood years then?
yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I thought the most fun thing you can do during playtime was like playing with Play-Doh or coloring with crayons. And or painting or drawing, I was always at the art table. And my friends were getting sick of it. And I remember the moment that I learned that not everybody loves drawing and painting as much as I did. So it was always something that I was drawn to. In elementary school, I took some art classes where I learned all about how to paint perspective and shade and um, all that kind of like beginner, like technical art elements and stuff. Um, so I was always making art in some way. Yeah. And then in high school, um, I found out that industrial design existed because my older brother was also into art and he went to art school for industrial design. And so he described what he was studying, and I was like, oh, you took my thing. I was so annoyed that he stole what I wanted to do. But he's 6 years older than me, so I had 6 years to get over it, and I did, thankfully.
Yeah. And from there, you obviously got into doing the course. Um, and how long was the course? Was this college or was it uni? What was?
Um, so I think the American equivalent is like if I translate the
Right,
the
so
term.
just say how old you were when you started doing the course.
Oh, when I was doing industrial design, I was 18.
Right, so that was uni of here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, yeah. So college, you went off to college to do industrial design and all the rest of it. How many years?
Um, so it's typically a 4-year degree.
Yeah,
Uh, but 2.5 years in, I had to take a year off for the first time. And um, unfortunately, I have had to take 4 medical leaves over the course of my studies since then. And when I came back, I could not study full time. I had to study part time.
yeah.
So overall, with all of that, it's taken me about 10 years.
And that's a long time.
Yeah.
And how much longer have you got left at this point?
I've graduated.
You've graduated, brilliant.
Yeah,
So
I'm
when
done
did you graduate?
in May of this year. So just
Ah,
just a
very
few months
recently.
ago.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Freelance.
yeah, yeah.
Freelance, or are you looking to get a job? Or
Well, right now I'm working freelance. I have a few freelance jobs. But I am looking for work.
hmm,
Um, it's been really tough in this job market to find work. Um,
of course.
just, and I'm not alone. Like all my friends that I've graduated with are in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult when you're starting out because for me, well, not every job, but most jobs, there's like a bit where it says you need at least 10 years experience of this, or you need 5 years experience of that. And then you're like,
Yeah.
how am I supposed to get a job here if I'm just starting out? There must be a job somewhere that caters for first timers or semi-professional or like semi part of the job, but you need to learn on the job as well. Um, so yeah, that's always a tricky part to get over. But yeah, what's the future with your art? Do you want to be like a comic drawer? What's the ultimate dream? What's the ideal situation where you want to end up?
Yeah. Ideally, I would say that I want to have my own business designing adaptive lifestyle products. And by that, I mean anything that's like medically adjacent. So like pill cases, ice packs, heating pads, but then also things like adaptive fashion lines, dishware, mobility aids eventually, that kind of thing. So that's my dream job is owning that business and designing the goods for that. Um, and and then there like the art side, right now I'm represented in Fountain House Gallery in New York. So that's been pretty cool. Um,
And what's that about?
so those are my paintings.
Oh, right, painting.
Yeah, there's the design work and the paintings. Um, that they're a little bit separate. They're like two different um vocations, I would say.
Yeah, well, especially in New York. I mean, you've hit the big time there.
Thank you.
That's interesting. Um, and what's the paintings of? What's the subject for that?
I paint a lot about um mental health, and the paintings that are in that gallery are mostly about mental health and my journey with mental health, and because that's another big part of my story.
Do you
Um,
wish to share a bit more?
sure. Um, yeah, I have been on a journey of trying to like understand more about myself, and I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder in March of 2022, and that really explained a lot about like my teen years, and um it it basically has to do with you get there's like a few parts of it. There's the psychotic symptoms sometimes, and then there's the mood episodes at times. And for different people, they exist on different timelines. Like some people have certain symptoms all of the time. Um, I would say most people that I know of, including myself, have symptoms all the time, but they vary in severity.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So, and another disability. Well, you put I've written it down here. Um. Functional neurological disorder.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's the reason for the wheelchair.
Yes.
Um, yeah. It's basically a disconnect between the way that the brain and the body can send and receive signals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Speech and
sorry.
speaking, not speaking, and then trying to get the messages across, and then trying to connect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, so it's a neurological disorder, but there is, like all chronic illnesses and disabilities, there is some connection where for some people, stress can make it worse. Um, some people find that there is a psychological component, but there's actually a minority of patients. So the historically, it's been more of a neuropsychiatric disorder, but they're starting to understand more and more that there's like a lot more of a neurological basis for it. And it's currently being researched more. I've just in the last year been reached out to by two different researchers about FND to take part in studies. So I think that's really exciting. We really don't know enough about it, even though it's about as common as MS. So it's not a rare disorder. Um,
It's just
but
not
it's,
been heard of enough.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. We were sort of going back and forth to sport and art and everything else. But um, the so your life was pretty much arts and sports. You know, those are the two main passions you have.
Yeah.
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 And with that, you mentioned a bit earlier, traveling. You haven't done that yet, but you're going to very soon, I believe.
Yes. My mom decided to um, treat me to a trip of my choosing for my graduation because it took me so long and she's very proud of me. And so we're going to go traveling together. Um, it makes me really nervous because it's my first time like traveling abroad with a wheelchair. Um, I've been abroad before, but that was before I had the physical limitations that I have now.
Yep.
So that's I'm a little nervous.
Oh, you'd be. Where was it that you're going to for this?
We haven't decided yet.
Oh,
Yeah, so
exciting.
we're still deciding. I kind of want to go to Greece. Um,
Nice, guys.
to like go to the beach. I saw that they have these new accessible like chairs that go straight into the water, which
Yes.
is very appealing to me. Because beaches are so hard to navigate. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's something
And
I really miss.
yeah, so I forgot to ask Rania, what state are you in? Where are you in the US?
Oh, I'm in New York City. So New York, New York.
So you're right in the middle of it. You're
Yeah.
right in the Boston scene. Um, yeah, oh, it looks lovely. Um, and um, um, so when did you start using the they them pronouns, if you like?
I think I started using they, them pronouns in either 2018 or 2019.
And this was around the time that you were medically changing,
Yeah, it was a little before.
like,
Yeah.
and at that point, I hope you don't mind me asking you, but at that point, that was probably the moment you were an adult at that point.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so you were legally able to go through the.
Oh, by medically changing, you mean like transitioning?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I actually I came out socially several years before I medically transitioned.
like,
So I started I came out as trans in about 2018 and started using they them pronouns sometime after that. I don't remember how long. But I didn't transition medically until uh I think 2 years later. Um yeah, and to clarify, most kids don't have access to.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
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 for their own safety.
yeah,
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 yeah. Because until you're 18, it's your parents kind of like um your voice kind of thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it's the well, I don't know. Oh, what? So, a big thing that's happening at the moment is the way that the United States are sort of treating disabled people and people that are uh of LGBT under the LGBTQ T plus umbrella. Um but and of course with the insurance and benefits and all these kind of subjects. Um it's certainly a challenge, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's been a pretty scary time, um, to think that the healthcare that has saved my life and so many of my friends' lives, um, is under attack for really no reason. I mean, it doesn't affect anybody else that I am medically transitioning. Like, I'm not giving you hormones. That's
No,
it's not contagious. So it's really been very upsetting that our even our existence has become politicized, um, in a really divisive way when I really think it's not political.
no, it's not even part of that.
Yeah,
But they're putting it onto the table anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh that's Donald Trump for you, isn't it? But yeah. Yeah, is there anything else you want to mention? I think I've pretty much covered everything that we spoke about. I don't know, there's anything else that I've missed? Apart from your partner, you've got a partner, of course.
Yeah, I have a wonderful partner. Um, I met her when I was doing a fellowship. I was working in rehabilitation engineering in Ohio. So now we're in a long distance relationship that's been very difficult, but the relationship itself is a beautiful one. We really love each other and it's been fantastic. So,
Brilliant. And and she's in another state in Ohio. She's in Ohio at the moment.
yes.
So so forgive me, I haven't researched America enough. How far away is that? State-wise.
It's about like 7 hours driving.
Right. Okay. So it's like two states across then.
Oh man, I'm not great with geography off the top of my head, but it's like a handful of states across. I think New York is so big that if you go through New York, um, you might pass, I think, Pennsylvania and then, yeah, so maybe a couple states.
Yeah, because you're
Mhm.
going up, aren't you, from New York?
Yeah,
Up.
yeah.
Yeah. Near Canada way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's nice. Um, and uh, so with the wheelchair, you've got a manual wheelchair.
It's a power wheelchair right now.
Lovely, brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I I really wanted a manual wheelchair, but my occupational therapist was like, "That's not going to work for you," so he didn't even let me try one. Um,
Would you
but
have liked a manual chair then?
I think I would. I think the thing is, like, New York is so inaccessible that I think having the ability to like do a wheelie and go over an obstacle would give me a lot more freedom. But the problem is my OT was right that it would not really serve all my needs. Like it wouldn't like a lot of my problems are with endurance and stamina. Like I might be able to push a manual wheelchair for the first like hour of the day, but after doing that, I might just be
Crash and
like
burn.
out of yeah, out of commission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair enough. And so what was the process like of getting there? Because I know it takes quite some time.
Yeah. Um, so my process was a bit unconventional.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so it was actually 2022 when my neurologist first prescribed me a wheelchair, but insurance denied it. And I, my disability, FND, can be dynamic. So, and often is dynamic. So for me, by that time, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can manage. Maybe they wouldn't approve a wheelchair with the level of function that I have now. I'm not going to appeal it, which I really regret. Um, yeah, because then 2 years later, I really needed it and I became housebound. Um, so I spoke with my neurologist again, and she prescribed me the wheelchair again. I had another seating evaluation. But I talked to my occupational therapist who did the seating evaluation, and he said it's going to take a year. Um, and so, and the thing is, he also told me that he didn't think he could get a custom wheelchair approved for me, that he would do what's called a captain's chair. So,
yeah,
it's basically just a power chair that's off the shelf. Um, and I looked up what they were, and they looked big and bulky, and I had a job offer on the table. So I was like, I can't wait a year for this chair.
yeah.
I'm housebound now and I have this job that I really want to do, and all I need is a wheelchair to do it. So I put an alert on eBay to see if there were any of a very particular brand of power wheelchairs available. And then there was a hit. And so I ended up getting um it it was a fold and go wheelchair, which is
Yeah,
just a yeah, it's like an all-terrain electric
yeah, you take the
wheelchair.
wheels off, fold the back, put it in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um and I showed it to my occupational therapist and he said, "Great, you've done my job for me. I wouldn't have been able to get you a better chair." And then he gave me a seating cushion that he had, um seat cushion, I mean, and that's what I've been using ever since.
bingo. And
Yeah.
how many years do you think that would last you?
I'm already outgrowing it. Like my needs
Oh,
are
okay.
my needs are the thing is when I got it, like I had this like wishful thinking in my head
Yeah,
that I would be able to fold it and put it away and not use it. Like that my physical condition would be better than it is.
okay, okay. That's just for
It-
thinking, yes. And now,
and now I have not been folding it and putting it away because I use it basically every day.
yeah,
Um, and unfortunately, a non-custom chair, when you're using it every day, can cause a lot of pain.
yeah,
So my physical therapist is in the process of trying to figure out whether I should get a custom one or what our plan is in that regard.
fair enough. And so apart from that, I mean, do you drive? Are you able to, I mean, would you like to drive? I mean, you know, question.
Theoretically, I'm able to drive. I mean, I have a driver's license. I'm a little worried about, I haven't driven in many years.
What?
So
So
I
you, so
I'm
you,
not,
so you drove before you had the wheelchair and the pains and everything, and then you've not been driving since and going back in. So going back into it, you'll probably need an adapted steering wheel and all the rest of it.
probably. I
Yeah,
think I'll have to try in a parking lot first to see like,
yeah,
can I press the gas and um
yeah.
like a couple years ago, I drove for about an hour before I tired out and couldn't do it anymore, um, like safely. So I think it's really going to be trial and error and maybe learning hand controls. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, one thing, one good thing about today's world is you could probably get AI to do it for you in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
That would make things a lot easier, wouldn't it? Just get the car to self-drive itself and then just take you to the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I suppose stuff like that's already been in production or something. So who knows? Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else to kind of touch upon. I think we've pretty much covered most areas.
Yeah, yeah, we
I mean,
covered a lot.
have you got any other hobbies or any other things that I've not mentioned yet? We're going about it in a quite unconventional way, like leaving back
Yeah.
game. But yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know of anything else. Yeah, I think we've covered it all.
Well, one last question then. What tips or advice would you give to other people that has the same conditions as yourself?
Oh man. I would say that I going into developing my conditions, um, or having them in terms of the ones that I've had my whole life, I didn't know that there were specialists that like studied those conditions and
Or,
knew better
or,
how to care
or
for them.
experts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I just really want to advise anyone who is dealing with especially functional neurological disorder, um, to find a specialist, find a neurologist or a neuropsychiatrist. Sometimes they treat it as well. They are both neurologists and psychiatrists because the problem that you usually get is like if you go to the neurologist, they'll refer you to the psychiatrist. If you go to the psychiatrist, they refer you to the neurologist. And then it's like a vicious loop and you can't get any care. So if you're in an area that doesn't have an FND specialist, finding a neuropsychiatrist can end the loop. Um, but in general, go on fndhope.org, use their provider finder, find a specialist. You can get help, you can get treatment, and you can, at the very least, manage things. And I think that's worth a lot.
Yeah. And where's your treatment? You mentioned earlier about pillboxes and stuff like that. What kind of is it tablet based, liquid based? Is it morphine? I mean, what's the
Yeah, definitely not morphine in my case. Um, uh, I take a number of prescriptions to manage, well, one, I manage my schizoaffective disorder with medication, and it's very well managed with that. Um, and then I also manage my chronic pain with certain medications for like nerve pain. Um, and then other than that, for my GI issues, I manage that with medication. Um, I think that's mostly it. So I take basically pills,
Yeah,
not liquids. But I do have friends who have feeding tubes who need to take medications through a liquid form.
fair enough. I think that's all the questions. I think we've pretty much covered everything. But again, thank you for choosing a time that's your time and my time because obviously 11 o'clock over there, isn't it? And then at 4 o'clock, and then it's now coming up to 5 o'clock here, and it's coming up to 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, I got that right this time. With the time zones. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on. It's
Thank you
been
so much for having me. And
yeah,
thank you for reaching out about this podcast and I really appreciate it.
yeah, and I appreciate your time and thank you for the friendship that we have.
Of course.
Voice. Let's go. Voice FM.